Okay, so let's reel it in and just look at what's happening in the last year. If we look at our segment here between, say, 1/1 and 1/8, it's about $700,000 across this range, which on the higher end even is more than 30%. But taking a property from the yuckiest to the nicest in this range without having something extraordinary going for it is about $700,000, and that's frankly about what the renovation value is. So the idea of buying a fixer and making a profit on it versus buying something that a developer has already developed, I may need to explain that again with some more details when we meet, but it's not necessarily the way to go money-wise. It can be the best money choice to buy something that is already, and I don't want to focus on these prices, I just want to focus on the curve, to buy something that is already renovated so that you're not spending the dollars renovating, and it's not a bad money choice. If you're using cash for the purchase anyway, and it's not a mortgage and your cash isn't constrained by down payment, etc., there could be some benefit to buying a property now, for example, at a lower price and doing the renovation at another time, or doing a renovation at a lesser level than the developer. We would look at that on a case-by-case basis. But if we look at what's going to be available for us to see, to look at, to purchase, etc., if you look between these dots, you've got about 80 units in a year that have sold. And the thing that I tell clients about that number is you have 80 units, about a third of them you will show up and it doesn't really fit the criteria. Maybe the parking is rented, maybe the third bedroom is in the basement, maybe the third bedroom is impossibly small, but it doesn't really meet the criteria of what we were looking for. It fell in the bucket on accident. About a third of them you just won't like. And that'll be personal preference. It'll be, it doesn't face the right direction for the sun. It's not in a neighborhood that I really want. I don't want this kind of a bathroom, or I don't want the bathroom next to the kitchen, or I'd rather have a master on the first floor, or different things that are very specific that don't necessarily show up in the market value. But it just rules out a third of the properties to say, I just don't want this property. So that leaves you about a third of the properties that would be in the bucket of available and workable for you. So out of 80 properties, you're looking at about 25 properties in a year that would meet the goals based on what I've laid out up here. And across a price range of 1/1 to 1/8. If I dial it back to say 1/1 to 1/4, right about here, that's about 30 properties, and a third of those would be 10. So about 10 properties in a year that meet your goals. And if I look across this set, it could be that they're automatically in the lesser locations or poor condition, etc., out of this set, because this is the curve and it's in the lower half. That doesn't make it impossible to find a place in the price range. It doesn't mean that you won't find one that's in a great location. This doesn't correct for location, it's just statistics. So it's possible. There aren't going to be tons of opportunities. So that's one of the things that this makes clear. And another thing that clients tend to think is they could spend another $50,000 or $100,000 and all of the stress and all of the pain of the search would go away. But that's not true. If you look at the set, spending another $100,000 only adds, if we start from about, we were at 50, about here, and move to there, I only added 8 houses, which probably puts 2 or 3 extra into the bucket of your set. So adding $100,000 doesn't dramatically change your search. Everybody at every price point feels the stress and feels that I can't find a place for me. It's almost never the case. Everybody finds a place. Most people are actually very happy with their place. And it can just take a little bit of patience sometimes, especially when the inventory is so low. And it takes learning what this context is. What does it mean for a property to be in this bucket that we've laid out to say this is where we want to be and what represents value there? And that's part of the learning curve that we will work on.